Good evening, Ogochukwu. Good evening, Marvellous. Good evening, Shakira. Hope you are all good. Sorry, MTN. Good evening. MTN is after my life today. The network has been has been an eyesore.
I don't even know how to explain my own. I've been trying to. I just joined. I've been trying to join in with my system, and it's not even going. I just decided. No. Good evening, Marvelous and Shakira. Both of them are the first persons to join, and I apologize for coming at this time. I've been trying to join. I'm still trying, but it's saying I don't even know. I couldn't find the meeting you're trying to join. I don't understand. Anyways, welcome. So the network is a general something. Welcome everybody. Raphael, we've heard your voice. Welcome once again. Marvelous and Shakira, how are you doing? Marvelous, I hear Shakira.
Yeah, good evening. Happy weekend. I'm good.
Okay, okay. So how was the week?
Yeah, it was good. Thank God. Hello.
All right. Okay. Good evening. All right. Thank you. Ayomide, welcome. Good evening, Ayo. How was your week and how are you doing?
Good evening, Ma. It was good. We thank God. A lot of challenges, but we thank God for everything. How's yours too?
Okay. Very well. It's only network that's been messing us up today, but
Yeah.
of course we'll still do our best.
Yeah. Well done.
But the
Well
week
done.
was good. Everything as well.
Nice, nice. Well done. Thank you so much.
All
When I saw the message on the group
right.
today that some people have been thrown out, I was afraid. I quickly went to log in. I hope I'm part of those that are in.
Okay, that's best though. So
But
if
I'm
you're
happy
just
that I'm part.
sharing this, log in and make sure you still have access. You might log now. The thing with data camp is
Yeah.
even if you don't have access, you can only get like the first chapter
Yeah.
free. But all other chapters of the course is what you pay for. So even if you log in, make sure you can access like chapter 2,
Mm.
chapter 3 of a particular course.
Okay. Okay. I'll try that again today.
Just to certify that you have your complete access. Check chapter 2 and 3
Okay.
of a course. If you have access to 2 of them,
Okay.
then you're good to go.
I will try that now. I'll try that
All
now.
right.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. You're welcome. So I hope everyone you're all with your laptops or your PCs. Oh, this one man wants to start misbehaving. I don't understand. But we'll see what we can
I'm using my
do.
phone.
You're using your phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Ayomide, are you with your phone or your PC?
I'm with my phone as well. Oh. There's I'm not
Okay.
I don't have access now to my laptop now.
All right. Marvelous. What about you? Phone or PC?
Actually, I have my PC with me, but I'm connecting with my phone. So I do not have any Python interface that I can use. That's the issue.
No. No, it's not. I just join with your PC, then open your data camp, log into data camp, open data lab.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I'll
just
be
open
doing that.
new workbook. New workbook on Data. Shakira,
Okay,
what about you?
I'll
Phone
try.
or PC? Sorry?
I said I'll be working on that now.
Okay. Please do. Shakira, phone or PC? Okay. So I had a bad week. Oh, so sorry about that. We are going to assume you're joining with your phone. Hmm. Let me see if I can open this now. And I'm still in my phone here. Oh gosh. Okay, so mine is opening a bit, though it's slow. So I'd have to log off from here and join using my PC. But I want to say that using my PC, the volume, the audio is not the same thing. The audio device I use for my PC is not too clear. So there would be I don't think you hear me that well, but please we'll have to manage with that today here right now and join using my PC. Let me see. Okay. So look, I hope you can hear me at least a bit. Am I a bit audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah. Can you hear me? I can't hear myself.
I can hear you now. I don't know if others can.
Yes, okay. Let me just-
I can hear you, but it is more food, Ogochukwu. What's that?
Your voice is off now.
Hello? Is this audible now? Am I audible? Can someone hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I think it's doing on and off. We can hear you for some time, then for some time we can't hear you.
You go off. Yeah, I think it's the network issue. The network is really bad.
Yeah.
Okay, but at least we can work with this, right?
Yeah, I think we can.
Okay, there's even a break. Okay, so we're starting off right now, and I want to welcome us all to today's session once again. So today we're going to look at extracting data from APIs. Why I wanted everyone to work on their systems was so that it wouldn't be just one person doing it. We will all do it together. If there is any error, you are debugging on your system. I'm also doing on mine. So at the end, at least when you're working on projects like that, when you're working on when you're working on projects like that, you have like a better and a stronger understanding of what you're doing. Because working like that would make you question some things. You have to ask yourself questions such as which library is this function coming from? What sort of library do I need to import? Do I need to import anytime I need to do so and so project or work? So that's why I wanted us all to work on our systems. But those who have their systems, we can work together, and there might be a time where you would have to share your screen. Though I would work with mine, I'll share mine now. Let me set it. So I'm going to share mine now, and we will. Okay. So I believe you all can see my screen, right? No one is responding. No.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Please, I'll need you to respond. So I'll know, I'll confirm and verify that one, my audio is working properly and that I'm not talking to myself again like I did the other time. So please, help me respond when I ask questions. Thank you. Okay, so in our last class we looked at various concepts in Python. We looked at lists, dictionaries. Which other one did you look at last week? Someone should remind me. What did you look at last week? Hello? Hello? Marvelous. Marvelous, please. I think you raised your hand.
Yeah, my network has been on and off. So what we did last week was we did how to read SQL, Excel and CSV file in Python. How to read it into the Python um, how do I put it? Python workbook or Python template. So and then we did how to use for loop to itemize the items in a list, and I think we did differences between sets, dictionary, and list. And also we did something called how do I put it now? I've forgotten the term, but we did something how to use a short form of using the for loop. So I've forgotten the title, but we did um
Okay. Thank you for that. That's
yes,
mentioned.
yes. What do you say?
List comprehension.
Yes, list comprehension. I just remembered now. So I think that's all I can remember.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That I think that's virtually all we covered last week. If I can, yeah, that that's a good one. So thank you for that response. So today we're going to I think last week we ended working with CSV and Excel files. So today we're going to look at working with APIs. Now, uh, an API is application program interface. It's a means of getting information over the web, over a web server. Now, imagine you're working in a fintech industry, in a fintech company, and part of your work as a data engineer is to get, say, the daily price list of cryptocurrencies, because we know things like that, currency does change. So part of your job is to get the daily price list of cryptocurrency, or what uh, different currencies exchange at the moment. Now, this information is not something you can get locally on your system. It's something you have to get over the web. And there is a website hosting that information on a daily basis. The website is live, giving you updates on the changes in these currencies. Now, your job would now be to get the data from that website and bring it into your own system locally and store either as a CSV file or in the database of your organization. Now, how do you interact with such a web server? How do you interact with that API? That is what we're going to look at today. So we're going to look at various APIs, and we're going to look at various means of accessing APIs online. Now, we are going to start first of all with this is a practical class, so we're going to do it like practically. It's not much stuff. As we're saying it, we're doing it, so we'll see how everything works. So the API we're going to first of all start with is an API called the REST Countries API. Now, REST Countries houses is an API that has all the countries, over 200 countries in the world, and it also has various information about these countries. It has the capital, the region, the continent, the country is located. It has I think it has the population, the landmark, so many information about each country in the world. So we're going to work with that API first of all. So let me just respond to API. Okay, so now I just did a Google search for REST countries API, and this is their site. Now, when working with APIs, the first thing you have to do is you go straight to the documentation. If you're in data engineering and you do not know how to read, I'm sorry, maybe you have to change your line of career, because as a data engineer, it's very important that you read. There is just no two ways about it. You have to read, and you have to read documentation, because it's the documentation that contains every information you need to know about a certain project. Now, coming to this REST countries API, their documentation is what contains everything concerning the API. It tells us how we are going to use the API. It tells us how we're going to call the API. It tells us various parameters you have to put to get certain details. If you want to get information for, say, one country, it tells you, the documentation tells you how you are going to get that information. So first of all, when working with APIs, you go to the documentation and you read to understand how to access the API to get the information or the data that you want to get. Now, looking at this API, here, REST countries, this is what they're saying. Here they're telling us in this column that you can access the API using the highlighted using this highlighted link. So you can get it using this link. But in order to get a faster response, you should filter the results by the field you need. Like, and this is them giving us an example of how to call the API using certain fields. And now this brings us to question: how do we know the field that we need to call when using an API? Like I said, everything is always in the documentation. So in this example that they've given, that I've highlighted here now, it's giving us the fields selected name and flag. So if you run this, you are likely going to get the name and flag of every country listed or written in this API. So next we would have to go to the field, the place that houses the field parameter, so that we will know the type of parameters we have to put in. We have to put for fields to get us what we want. If we want the name of a country, for example, what are we going to put? And that brings us to this part of the documentation, fields. And here it says that the field section is mandatory. You must have a field section if you want to make use of this API. Then to check the fields that are available here, we are going to follow this link. Now, to get the description for each field, you must specify the field you need up to 10 when calling the API, when calling the all end options. So let's see the fields that are actually available for this API. So for the first, we have this V1, V3, V2, sorry, V3 and V3.1 gives the different versions of the API. At the moment, the current version is V3.1. Then info gives you a breakdown or a description of what this field returns. Now, looking at the first one, we have alpha 2 code or CCA. Now, this returns the ISO 31661. That it returns 2-letter country code. So for country codes, we know there is either 2-letter or 3 letters country code. So using this field CCAT, it will return the 2-letter country code. Then using CCA3 as a field parameter, will return the 3-letter country code. Then if you come here, you see area. Area here returns the geographical size of that country. Borders returns border countries, and you can go through all other fields to see and read to see what they all return. Time zone returns the time zone of the country. Region gives us the UN demographic regions, and so on. So when you look at the field, you know the parameters to include to get the information you need from the REST countries API. So what we are going to do, first of all, we are going to return country name and the capital of all countries in Africa. That is the first thing we are going to do. Using this API, we are going to get the country name and the capital of all countries in Africa. So we need to know how to call, if it's a specific region we want, we also need to know how to keep that region in such a way that it gives us the result we return is strictly for that region or that continent. So going down, we also have additional information about that. Where is it? There's a place for region. So, okay, currency. If you want to search currency by name, this is how you do it. Language, capital city, calling code. Okay, region. Let's see if there's any continent. Okay, there is no continent, so we can make use of region. Region is to search by region. This is how we are going to do that. This is the highlighted space is how we are going to. Let me increase this a bit. Okay, so this is how we are going to call the API to get for a certain region. Now, they gave an example beneath, which shows that if you want to return all the countries in, say, Europe, you are going to use this this link. So we are going to copy this. Let me copy that, and we are writing Python. So I'll put that here. So the link, which we can call our URL, will be equal to, in string quotes, that. But we do not want for Europe, we want for Africa. So we are putting Africa here. If someone wants to make a comment, I think I heard something. Okay, no. Okay, so now before we do all of this, okay, let's move ahead first of all. So now this is how we get to call. This is how we call the region for Africa. But also note that at the beginning, when they told us how to call, it is written under the field parameter that field is mandatory. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. Here, they told us that field is mandatory. So even if we run this API like that, we are not going to get the result because there is no field parameter included here. And they give examples somewhere of how to include the field parameter, which is at the beginning of the API. Yes. So here they told us how to call the field parameter like this. So you just add a question mark, field, then you give the field that you want to return. So we're going to also, let me just copy this and then add here, Control V. Delete this, this is Africa. Okay. Question mark. So, now, what are the fields we said we want to return? We said we want the name, the capital, and the consonant. So going back to their field code, we need to check for what parameters are used to call a country name. Let's name, okay, yes, name. Country name, we use the name parameter, which we have written. Then we need the capital. Where is capital? Something that describes the country capital, continent. Okay, capital cities. So capital here is used to get the capital. So we're going to add it here, name, comma, capital. Then we also want to get the continent, and this is list of continents the country is on. So this is continent, country C, country B. All right, we can work with this now. What's this? UN demographic region. Okay, you can just add this just to some more countries. Okay, so now this URL is what we're going to use to get what we want, which is the name, capital, and continent of all countries in Africa. Now, before we can do this, there are some libraries that we need when we want to interact with an API. And the library that is used to interact with an API is the request library. So we are going to first of all import the request library, which we're doing. So having imported the request library, next we give the URL of the API which we want to get data from. Then after that, there is a function in the request library. There's a function in the request library that helps us get information from an API, and that is the get request. And that is get. Sorry, and that is get. So get allows us receive, just like the name is get. It makes us receive information or data from an API when used with the request library. So next we are going to say request. Since get is in the request library, request dot get. Now, what do we want to get? We want to get this. And this we have already put in as URL. So we'll set a parameter URL in the get function, then we can give this response. So response will be equal to request.get, and that's to get the URL. Then next thing we'll have to do is we'll have to use JSON, because most of the APIs, their response is always in JSON format. So for us to get this, after getting a response from the API, we would have to pass that response into the JSON function. And to do that, we say response.json. And then we can assign a variable to this and call it data. So data equals response.json. Now, this alone should give us what we want. But let us see, to help us know if we actually got a good response, we can just print something. We could say print, okay, let's get that first of all. So I'm going to run those 3 lines, these 3 code blocks, and let's see how we get that information from the API. We run this, correct? And then we run this last one. Okay, so we can see our output here, which is okay. And this shows us that everything here did run, and it did run successfully. So we can now, the next thing is, what is the content of our data? We can easily get that by printing data. So when we print data, we run and see what is in there. Okay. So this is the output, or this is the response we got from our API, from the REST countries API. This is the response we got. So looking at this, can someone tell me what kind of data structure this is?
Semi-structured, as JSON format, semi-structured.
Sorry?
It's a dictionary.
It's a JSON format, semi-structured data.
Okay. So you say it's a semi-structured format in JSON format, which is correct. Now, okay, thank you very much for. If we look at this is an easier or a better way which we can use to make this output come out better. And to help us do that, we do not have such function in the request library. Request just helps us with the API. Now, to help us to structure this, there is another library in Python that can help us make this output a bit readable. And that is the JSON library. The JSON library helps us work with JSON files in Python. So we're going to import that library. We'll import the library and we'll use one function to at least. So we'll use one function to at least just beautify the result a bit, the output a bit, let it be a bit readable. And the function we're going to use is the dump function. So now what it does is that it writes this our the JSON file into like a more readable string format. So since we have imported JSON, we can just use JSON dot dump dump on data. So we take this and see what the output looks like. So we're going to do this gradually. So you see how everything here works together. Okay. Now, JSON dump data still gives us the same output. So how do we make it more readable? We have to add an additional parameter known as indent. Now, the indent parameter in JSON dump is what actually makes the a JSON file to be more readable and understandable. So if we put indent, and the indent is equal to an integer, we could put indent equal to 3 or 4. It depends on how you want your output to look like. So if we say indent equals 2, we now have a better and a more readable output from our API request. So I want to believe this output is easier to read than the previous one, which is this. So JSON.dump is what helps us kind of beautify a JSON output and put it in a readable string format. So having this, we can easily see here now that this JSON file is a combination of list and dictionary. What do I mean? First of all, so we talked about lists last week. Who can like tell us how do you identify, although some of them are the same thing, but like there's a basic way you can identify a list in Python. What is that like? How can you just look at something and say this could likely be a list in Python?
So I think list, when you see list, they are in square brackets. So a square bracket usually has a square bracket that has beta inside is likely a list.
Okay, so that's very correct. Thank you. Then what about dictionaries?
Squarely brackets, the ones in squarely bracket that have key value pairs. So you have the key, which is the one before the semicolon, then the value, which is after the semicolon. So in squarely brackets. Then separate the values are now separated by commas. The different values, the different data are separated by commas.
All right, thank you. That's very, very correct. Thank you very much for that. So looking at this output, first of all, we can see a square bracket here, and we have a curly bracket here. Then after the curly bracket, we have name in quotes. Now, this name in quotes is a key. Then we have a semicolon, and after that, we have another curly bracket. We have common, another key, marionette, and the rest of them. So this basically just tells us that a JSON file is a combination of list and dictionary. looking at this, so we also have the dictionary keys, and these are the, yeah, this one, yes. For name key, this is the value. And for capital T, this is the value. This is the value, all separated by commas. So this makes the JSON string easier to read and easier to understand. But when you want to work with data in Python, you can't work with something like this. In the first place, this is not even that readable per se, because we cannot say, we can't, if we're looking for, say, Nigeria, we would have to start searching everywhere, looking for Nigeria. Okay, we just saw that. Okay, so we would have to start searching everywhere that we're looking for Nigeria, and this is just not the best way to go about it. So what we want to do now, if we, okay, what if we want to extract like Nigeria from here? How are we going to do it? These are like the questions that we'll have to ask ourselves. In a file like this, a JSON file like this, we want to extract a particular country name and the details of that country. How do we do it? Okay, let's now go to a country. Let's say this first this first information here, common name, Mayor. Yeah. Okay, the country name is Mayor. So if we want to extract this country name here now, how do we do it? So I'm
Okay.
going to ask that as a question now, please.
Okay. Okay.
I'll type
Okay. I think
that.
I'm not too good with. Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
I'm not too good with Python that much, but I think we have to like do some slicing and subsetting. Uh, I don't know if I look will work. Is it I look now or look? But subsetting is what we should do. Slicing and subsetting is what we should do to locate that particular one. So their indexes are located to each value in the dictionary. So maybe
Mm,
index 0, index 1, and I believe that first one has to be index 0.
index
Yeah.
0. Okay. So how am I writing it? Where is the data?
And so that should be the name of the date is date. What's the name of the file? The name of this particular you save the data is the name.
Data. Mhm.
Yes, data, and then you open a square bracket. I think then is it 0? Then 0. I think something like that. I know we did I look. I don't know if this will work, but I think this is the index for the first one.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
so we can see that now. That's actually correct. So to get the index of the system, you would have to do to get the
Hey,
information, you will have to use the index.
yes, but this index is not really very good. I think there's a particular one called I look and look. With one of them, you can put the actual name of what you are looking for, and it will search it. But I really don't know how to use it properly yet. That's why I didn't choose this one. Choose that one. So yeah.
Okay. Yes, with iLook you can. But here we're working with lists and dictionaries. Now the thing is the first one, the first one, yes, is the list. And the first item list is always index 0. Give us what we want, which is the first item in, the now and we want to get consonants now from this list. How do we do it?
Okay, you put in another square bracket and then continue to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.
I'll put
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. No, 5. Put 5.
okay, 5.
Yeah. Oh, there's no 5. 5. Okay, it didn't work. Uh, okay, please hold on. Okay, put 4. I just saw I made a mistake. There's a list inside the list there. The dictionary inside the dictionary. Yeah. Wow, wow, meaning I'm not doing it properly. Yeah, somebody was saying something.
But please, what's that? I didn't hear that the person. As this thing is like this, which data structure is this?
Okay, this particular one we selected is the first inside the list. Then inside name now has a dictionary. So how do we work? So name itself is like a key value. Well, do we do 0 and then before we do 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Uh, uh,
So I just want to give it a try. Maybe it's going to work out. The
Sorry?
suggestion. So let's give it a try. I don't know if it's going to yield well or not. So maybe you can suspect the data this thing.
How do I do that?
Like data. Since 0 is giving us um, the dictionary itself, so we can subset the dictionary. Maybe we can store this as a variable. The data this thing as
We're going to
another
start.
variable.
So what do we call it? Say data. I mean, that's what you're saying. Data underscore 2, right?
Yes, yes. Then we subset.
Oh, okay.
eh,
Hold on. Let me do data underscore 2. Let me run this. Then, of course, it will give us the same thing. Let's open another. So, see the output we're working with. So, how do we now suspect this?
Okay, that's a wow. Can we use? I think Steve
okay,
was talking. Can we
okay.
use
Let's
lock?
can we go to the previous one that what we were doing before? Let me, or we can just try data square bracket 0 square bracket 0 again. Let me see what it will give us. And then square bracket 0 again. Oh, okay. Meaning something that was not working. This is a list, a dictionary inside a list.
How do we access dictionary? I know at least they covered that in the last class.
Please, can we try? the lock. Maybe we can call the lock. I think we can use data dots, the data to the restored variable. Yes,
Okay.
then dot lock, then square brackets, then I
Okay.
think we can call continent if it's going to work though. Square quotes continent if it's going to work. Wow, it's not working.
It's
Okay,
locked not
continent.
for pandas or numpy. It's for pandas, so you have to import pandas.
Let me check it.
This is
Still giving the same error. Is anyone still there?
Yes, we are here. We're trying to like figure it out.
I think the thing is that it has a nested dictionary inside a nested dictionary. The dictionary is just nested. So I think that's the problem because after name there's a dictionary. After
So
name,
yes,
that
we
dictionary,
get
like dictionary
from
inside dictionary.
this dictionary.
Or let's do. Can we do try um, data dot since that particular key value is word? Can we do data dot word?
Data dot
Name to bring the key value name. Maybe you can put add a cell above for us to do that.
okay, let me just make this.
Yeah.
So
So we do data open brackets. Maybe no. Sorry, open bracket. Squarely brackets.
spoiling.
Squarely brackets. No
So square.
square. Yes. Then
Yeah,
double quotes. Then maybe name. So that
yeah,
is name.
yeah.
With this, so that let's see if it will return.
Work. It should work.
These indices must be integers or slices, not string. Okay, there's a 0. Okay, try putting a 0 before data. Let's see if that one will work now. And square
Yeah,
bracket
yeah.
then 0. Square bracket then 0.
Yeah.
And try this.
Oh,
Okay. Now then do square bracket and 1, 2, 3. What are we? Is it the continent we were looking for?
it's continents we are looking for.
Okay, change name to continent. To continent. Change name to continent.
Oh, okay.
Continent. Yeah, try that one. Yes.
Oh, that's nice. Well done.
Yeah. So, thank you.
Thank you, everyone who assisted us. So uh, we can see how to get uh, continents from this information. Now the thing is this. First of all, this this entire data is a list. It is like dictionaries put into a list. So to access First of all, as we access a list, which is using the index, then few other details of that index, we need to call them next using the keys. So if we want to get what's the second? This is so say we want to get the second item. Okay, that's the name. This information for the name, we change this to 1. Let me remove this to get this. Everything concerning in index number 1, and the contents of index number 1 is actually dictionary. We also have dictionaries, and in dictionaries we still have lists, just like continent. Africa is in a list, capital list, name in dictionary forms. Name is a nested dictionary. Let's say this official, which is Republic, the name. We would have to start one after it break down. We start calling the keys one after the other. So we start from name. After name, then we get the native name, SRA, then official, before we can access record the name. So let's just do that and see what I mean. So, okay. Access them by their key. First is the name key. Name. Next, you have to call the next. This is another key here inside native name FRA. We have to also call that. FRA still has another official. We have an official key. So let's finally call of this. We can see that we have a Republic to the end. So this is how we access. At least this is how to access this. By looking at this, you can see clearly that this is so many functions that cost and help us certain things. Just one keyword or one method can use to do all that. So moving on this, that this is where we are, how we just beautified our outfit. So we have to this out in an easier way that if we want to do analysis, because do not forget, the end point of this entire process is to make our data easy. If we want to do that, capabilities in doing that. And this is where the pandas library comes in. And I know in one of our classes I mentioned that if you're doing anything data, like pandas to understand, at least know so many certain functions that will help you perform perform easily and seamlessly. So even from this JSON format to structured format, uh, pandas can easily help us do that. So here we are going to first import pandas library. Let's remove that error. What has helped us normalize data like this is underscore normalize function. We call that function on the JSON. So we're going to say after importing pandas as PD, audio is on. Thank you. Please help us mute your mic. Thank you. So we're going to use the JSON underscore normalize function. So since it is from the pandas library, we're going to call pandas first, giving it PD. Since we've imported pandas as PD, so we say PD dot JSON underscore normalize. Then we're going to give our data. We're to put our data as an argument. Yeah, data. So we're going to put it as an argument here, and let's call it data frame. So we say GS equals pg.json normalize. Now, what this function does is this data, the JSON file that we have put as an argument in here, it is going to transform it to a data frame. It is going to change this information that we see here, all of this, it's going to transform it to a structured data frame, and it will become just rows and columns. And with that, in that format, we can do any transformation, cleaning, or analysis that we want to do on it easily. So after calling on JSON normalize, we're going to see what our data looks like, and we say gf dot head. Let's just see what it looks like, and then we run this. Great. So we can see what data now looks like. We can see how we came from this how we move from this to this. So so if you look at our sorry about that. I just noticed I was picked up by my network. So I hope you all can hear me. Can someone, where did I stop, please, before I got picked up?
Okay.
You
You
were
stopped.
still on the data frame. Data frame. You were doing the data frame. You're explaining on the data frame that you just generated.
Okay, okay. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so I guess I need to start on time. So I was saying how we got from the response we got from our API, which is this, how we got from this how we move from this to what we have at present right now, which is this. But there's something I want us to look at. And that is the column name. And this is how JSON actually normalizes data from JSON form to data frame. We can put capital here. Oh, please, I'm sorry, my network has been something else. I'm sorry about that. So let's continue. I think next time. Where am I saying? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take it again from where we stopped. And the last time I was saying how we moved from here, the response we got from our API call, how we got from this to where we are at the moment, which is this as a data frame. Now I want us to look at something. I want this output here, and let's also look at this the column name, which is what I'm about to explain on how JSON normalize breaks down data, breaks down information from JSON format to a data frame. Now, first of all, if you come here, we have capital. which is this, and capital has only one value, which is post novo in a list. And we have that in list here. Okay, that's number 2. That's this. Then when we come to continent, we have continent has just one value, which is Africa, which we have here, Africa. Then you come to name.common, the name key, which is name. Name has name is a dictionary. Name is a dictionary that contains other dictionaries. Now, if you go into name, you have name, we have common, we have official, we have native name. No, just those 3. So if you come under name, we have 3 dictionaries, which is common, official, and native name. So for JSON normalize to get the name, it does name dot common. So it uses a full stop as a separator for each key in the dictionary. So now, despite this name being nested, it breaks it down using the keys and it uses full stop to combine the different key names to get to the last value of that dictionary. So that is why when you come here, the name, we have name.common, which is a combination of name key, which is the major key, and common key, which is a dictionary, the first value, the first key inside the name dictionary. Then next, coming to Republic of Benin, which is this, it gets it as name.official. And that is why we have name.official here. Then if you come to this next, the next key, which is native name. Native name houses other keys. So for say to get Republic de Benin, it's going to give us, it's going to break it down in this format. It will be name.nativename.fra.official before it gets to the last value of that dictionary, which is, yes, which is what we have here. So looking at this, we have name dot native name dot fra dot official, which is what we have here to give us Republic of Benin. So how JSON normalize breaks down JSON files to data frame is that it gets each key, it gets the key of each dictionary, and from the key, when it gets to a nested dictionary, it uses full stop. It uses full stop to combine the keys so as to get to the last value of that dictionary. And that is why, even though we have I think about not 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Even though we have 3 main keys in this dictionary, if as after breaking it down using JSON normalize, we are getting more than 3 columns. So for us to get the column, we can simply say to know the number of rows and columns that the data frame has. We can simply call on the state function. So when we say gf.state, it gives us the number of columns and the number of rows. So looking at this, we have 69 columns, 69 rows and 98 columns. So after breaking down these 59 rows, he was able to break it down to 98 columns. But this is not really what we want. What we want is what and what did you bring in? We want the name, capital, and continent of each country in Africa. That is what we want. So from this, we can easily see that name.common houses the actual name, the common or the popular country name of a country, the popular name of a country. Then we have the capital, which though comes as a list. Then we have the continent. So from here, we can just segment our data and take only the columns that we need. Now, for us to do that, we will simply put the names of the columns we need in a data frame. Now we say df should be equal to first data frame df, and the columns that we need are, we want name.common, name.common, we want continent, okay, capital first, capital, and then we want continent. So these are what we want. Now, okay, I'm going to run this. So we see the error that it would give us. Fine. So here we're having a key error. Now, this is another thing that, we looked at last week. So now we want to get just the capital, the continent, and the name.common. I want somebody to help us out again. No? How do we solve this key error? Okay, I don't even call. Let's put df dot. Okay, just so that we can get that later. So I don't know, someone should try and let's see how can we call these three, how can we get just these three columns? How do we extract just these three columns from just 98 columns?
So,
Is there?
I think
Someone was saying something.
I was suggesting that the square bracket should be double after df. Then there should be another square bracket. Then I think you can to return all the rows. There can be a colon, before the second square bracket.
In between these two square brackets.
A colon before the second bracket. Yeah, that's it's going to work.
Clearly, should I add here?
Hello, can you hear me? I said hello.
I can hear you. You said
okay, I said before the second bracket. Yes, exactly. That point. There should be a colon to represent, then a comma. A colon, then a comma to represent the rows.
And comma.
Yes, if it's good to yes.
Okay. Let me run. If it does run, if it doesn't give us an error, then we'll think to error. Oh, okay. Just a type.
It's not working. Can you just remove the colon and the comma if it's going to work?
This.
Yeah, if it's going to work.
Okay, so it did run. Let's see the output. Let me just put it in. Yes, but said, let's just see what we have. Oh, okay. So, for me, it said it like this. You select from that. To help us, Mike, please.
You are breaking, actually.
Your mic, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so, and thank you for answering how to get some select columns from a data frame. So to get select columns from a data frame, you simply use two double square brackets. Don't forget to get for one column. To get for one column, you use single bracket, a single bracket. But to get for multiple columns, you use double square bracket. So that gives us. So that has given us the thing we want, which is this. So now we have the information we want, which is the country name, the capital, and the continent. So moving from here now, I will still need, looking at this now, we cannot work with data like this. We can't work with data like this. We can't even save something like this because in the first place, looking at it, if you're given to work with this as an analyst, I don't know how you first of all start breaking down some things here. So clearly this doesn't give us the end point that we want. So okay, let me call someone again. Let me ask again without saying. So what are some of the transformations that we can do on this data frame before we store this data frame in our database?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. It's like we have only one person in this class, so I don't understand.
So I think there was one particular one I was to strip. We can strip the column of the square bracket and then the double quotes.
We
Do I
can
know?
strip.
Yes, is this
Okay,
strip?
okay. So we're working on capital, right? And continent.
Yes, capital and continent. Yeah, we can strip it of that.
this and this. Okay. All.
Okay. Okay. I should call the codes, right?
Okay, you can. So you said we should use strip here and
Yes.
here.
Yes. So let's do the data frame now is df. So we can
Yes,
say
yes.
df square brackets, then square brackets, then capital in quotes, in quotation, single quotes. No, capital will be equal to, so yeah, then df square brackets, capital again, then dot str, that's string, like string, str, string, the string, uh, then dot a method of strip. So strip, strip, strip method. Then inside the strip method, we'll now add the, I think, square brackets. One of the square brackets, that will remove it. I don't know, can we do strip again? Yeah, one
Is
of
it
the square
okay?
brackets. Yes.
Okay,
I
so
don't,
let's
I,
right.
yes. So I don't know if we can we can we call it twice? So if I do strip now, can I call it dot strip again? That's what I don't even know. I don't know if that will work.
Let's try.
Okay, strip.
I'm
No, strip.
trying.
Okay.
Okay, just
I don't think we should have. Should we add the string again? And let's try that. Try it like that. Open.
and this should be for the second one, right?
Yes. Let's try. If this will work, we can use it to also remove the double quotes. If it let's run it. If it doesn't give an error, it means it's worked. If it give an error, it means that first one didn't work.
Attribute
Info cannot
now what
hold that experience.
Story subject has no attribute. So it means script cannot be performed on the columns.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Can you add the both bracket together if it's going to work?
If we do
Both
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 brackets,
bracket,
they can't exist
like the
together.
square bracket.
I don't think they can exist together. Just remove the second strip. Let's see. No, no, no. I don't think that will work. Just remove the second strip if it will agree. And let's run it if it will work at all.
okay.
It
It did.
it work. Okay, so
But it
we can do it
didn't give us
multiple times. Why don't you just
it
put
didn't
it
give
in the same line under? So just copy and paste it under itself and remove the double quotes
Um,
and
I want
the,
to ask. Sorry, I want to ask if we put the two brackets, won't it work together?
I don't think so. It will look for
Like
two
instead of
brackets joined together. That's
yeah,
what I think will happen. And it doesn't exist
I don't
like that.
know.
You know,
Well,
we are passing that square bracket as a string. So it will look for two brackets that are sampled together. If it,
yeah, if we can try it, if it's work, I'm just suggesting. So maybe
okay,
we can try it, and if it work out, and if it doesn't, then that means we are going to do it one by one. So I was just thinking that maybe it will work. That was right.
Okay, so we've done this first one. Let's do it like this. We're going to try all suggestions. We've done this first one and it did work. At least it didn't give us an error. So that's why I'm saying it did work. So let's
okay.
see what this output will give us first of all. Then we'll go ahead and remove the second one, put the output, then rerun this code. Then after that, we add both of them and see what that output will also give us.
Okay, okay.
So copy
So
that. Let me
df.edge.
let's go df.html.
Oh, it removed
And
it removed everything.
Should we try the replace function instead of string?
replace.
Yes.
Okay. So let me see. I would have to run this again so that we get back our capital. Run there. Hold on, hold on. Yes. Okay, so I have to start from here. And then again, okay. 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 Run this. Okay, we have our capital. And okay. So you said we could use what?
There should be
Um,
dot replace.
sorry, let me suggest that we use another column name so we can easily remove that column rather than using capital that will replace
Okay, are you saying we should like put it so that it exists as a new column? Like we create a new column with the same value.
like a new, since we are doing trial and error here, let's create a new column, work on that column, and if it works, then remove it. Or what do you suggest? Do you still maintain capital?
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Let's create a new column. Let's create a new column.
Call it capital city. So you said we should use replace here in place of city, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, replace. So I
So
can easily
I
run
think
this.
there's something you're supposed to put in the front before you run it.
What's that?
Yeah, I'm going to like you have to put R before the column the column here.
This. So
You
after
place
replace, what?
open brackets R,
Yeah, R.
then in quotes the box brackets,
Okay.
and then close it.
Oh, we are supposed to
Then
replace it.
then,
Okay.
then put another box bracket in it. The another box
Huh?
bracket in the box brackets. Put another box bracket in the box brackets.
In here. Open and
Yeah,
close it.
inside it. Yeah, open
Okay.
and close. Then comma. As you place it with empty space, comma. Just ordinary quotes, two quotes. Then comma.
Another comma.
Yeah, another comma. And regex is equals to true.
What?
Regex is equals to true. Regex is
Okay,
equals to true.
regex, regular expression.
True.
Is that
True.
True,
True.
True. Big T,
huh?
true. Big T,
True.
big T, True, yeah.
Let's try it.
Is this dull?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. So let me run this and let's see what it is. Okay, it did run. Let's run GF and see uh capital then.
I still returned an empty cell. It's like it's removing everything inside what we call for it to remove. So probably there's a method for working with JSON files.
Okay. So let me let Okay. Okay. So the thing, in our JSON file, I said initially the list of dictionary and list. What the list step and list. Did you hear me?
No, we didn't hear the last what you said. So please repeat it.
Okay. So I'm saying under capital and continent, this is not just the normal square brackets that we have. This is actually, because if you remember, I said a JSON file is a combination of list and dictionary. Now, pre-normalize gets the keys of the dictionary to the last value. Now, the last value of capital is in a list format. The last value of continent is also in a list format. So it does not expand the list per se. It doesn't expand the list. It gives you exactly what you want in that list, as long as it has gotten to the last key in that nested dictionaries block. So once it gets to the last key, it gives you exactly the value of that last key. Now, in our case, name.common is not a dictionary. It is just, name.common is not a dictionary. It is just a value. But capital here is a dictionary. And continent here is a dictionary. So the best and easiest way to do this is to use a function called explode. What that function does is it goes into, if you specify a column, if you put a column as an argument in the explode function, like the word explode, it explodes the column. It breaks down that column to the list to it, using its various indexes, and creates new rows. It creates new rows. I meant to say new rows or new records after exploding a certain column. Now, if, for example, Benin here has 2 capital cities. If we have Porto, Novo, giving an example now as 2 capital cities of Benin, what explode will do is it will remove all those values from a list, and when it gets to Benin, it creates one record having Porto and another record having Novo. So we're just going to remove this, and we're going to call explode function on capital and continent. Now, okay, before we do that, let's get the shape. Did you get the shape? Okay, the shape is 59 records and 98 columns. So after then I want to get the shape of DF now that we have. Let's get the shape first. This time is first time. So we have the shape here now as 53 rows and 3 columns. Since we want to, this capital and continent is a list, we are going to use the df.explode. And we are going to explode capital and continent. Now, we are going to put it in the form of a list. Capital and continent. And then we say df equals this. Let's run. Columns must have so we have to call it separately capital. And then another explode, the exploding containers. Okay, so we have it there. And then let's check df.head. Okay, so you can now see that capital and continent are now in their normal form. So these are some of the transformations that we can do on data. After breaking it down, we saw that though it gave us the list unit, but it still came back, some records were in form of a list, which we had to break down so that it would save properly. Now, if we go to here, if we check the shape, if we go back and check the shape, we have now we have 61 rows and 3 columns. So what this means is that there are some countries with more than one capital, and that is why capital was written in the form of a list. Or there are some countries that are recorded in more than one continent, and that is why continent was written in the form of a list. So if we go back and investigate, we can use like since our company is country now, which is named as common, we also need to rename this. We can change this name as common to country. To do that, we use the rename function. So df dot rename. We are renaming, no, not square. Now, to use rename, we are going to call column first of all, then pass the values in form of a dictionary. So renaming column equals The first one is name.column, name.common. Passing it as a key, we want to rename that column to be country. So, and then we need to put in place equals to, let's just assign it to US. US equals this. And then just print DS head and let's see what we have. Okay. So as it stands now, we have succeeded in doing a bit of transformation on the data that we got from our API. Here we have changed this column name from name.common to country, and we have also removed the list in capital and continent. So like I said earlier, the first time we got this list, we had the shape of the data was 59 records. But after calling df explode function, we now have it at 61. So this tells us that capital had some countries have more than one capital, or continents, some countries are in more than recorded to be in more than one continent. That is why there is disparity, or that's why there is difference in the number of rows in this data. So after this, I believe the way it is right now, it is okay, and we can easily save this data to another format. We can now save this data, we can load it to our database, but we're not going to load to a database here. We're going to just simply save it as a CSV file, which is downloadable. So to do that, we're going to call on the CSV function. That function is also available in pandas dictionary. That is where we get the function. So we're going to say our data frame ds dot to underscore CSV. Now we can give this CSV file, say africa.csv. Oh, so after that, we give we say index equals false. Index equals false, and we run. This shouldn't give us an error, I believe. So great. Now the function of index equals false is this. If you do not set your index equals false, it is also going to save this index number. This index column, it is going to save it. And when you open this the CSV file in another environment, it is going to give it its own index number. So you end up duplicating index numbers in the different environments that you open this CSV file. So whenever saving to CSV, always ensure that you set your index to be false. So it does not store this index, but rather just stores only the data, the data frame that we need, which is the country, the capital, and the continent column. So now, having saved this, we can easily view this. If you go to your data sources, we should see under files, we should, so we have the africa.csv file here now in our environment. So which we can use read.csv. Using the pandas read.csv, we can still read it to using pandas read.csv, we can also read it and see what it gives us. Df, let me say df2 equals pd.read.csv. What are we reading? Africa.csv. Africa.csv. Then let's just view df2.html. What's that? This. Okay, so here we are. Now we can see that how we got from API, how we got data from our API, did some transformations, close this. Did some transformations and saved the same file to and saved it as a CSV file. And here we saw us reading the CSV file again to verify that what we stored is what we actually have. So this is like a project. This what we just did today is not like it is actually an ETL project, because here we extracted data from an API. That's how we started. We got data from this API, and then we did some transformations. The transformations were changing from JSON format to a data frame, which we did here. Then we also had to select the columns that we needed. That's part of our transformation. Then we did df.explode to break up capital and continent columns. Then the last transformation we did was to rename the first column, name.common, to country, so that it will be readable, so that it will be easily understandable. And finally, we saved the file as a CSV file, giving it africa.csv. This last aspect of calling it is just a means of data validation to ensure that what we actually stored is what we are getting back from our server where we stored it. So that is all we have for today. Time is fast spent. I apologize for eating into our time. We're already 5 minutes past schedule. So this is what we have for today. I don't know if anyone has any questions. Please let me hear. If we have anyone that has any questions concerning this, let's hear it.
Okay. Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay. I think I understand what you were explaining already, but I just want to confirm. So when we did the explode, the explanation you were trying to give was that actually the content of those columns, that's country and let's say continent now, capital and continent, they were actually part of a list. So that's why when we tried to use those they were not strings. The data type at the time was it? Because I know when I was taking a particular course, I think when we were doing lists. So when we check the data type of a list, it will show that the data type is actually list or dictionary, and it will not show as string. So what happened there was when we were trying to clean it, it was not seeing those values as string. It was actually seeing the data type as a list. That's why those functions did not work. So we had to use the explode function to actually give us this. Is that correct?
Yes, that's very correct.
Okay.
looking at it with our own eyes, it's not wrong if you assume that this is actually a square bracket, because that's what we can see.
Yeah.
And looking at it again, you see that these ones that we looked at least these ones that are visible here, none has a second value.
Yeah.
They all have just one value. So it's actually square bracket here is actually a square bracket, but it's not a square bracket per se. Our eyes can look at it and see that these are square brackets, and we easily replace it with empty string. But these aren't actually square brackets. They are square brackets used to represent a list. And that's why when we did the explode, you can see the difference in the state, which is what I pointed out here. You can see that the shape went from 51 records, 59 records to 61. To 61.
One more thing.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's clear. But if, let's say, since the data type is as a dictionary or a list now, if we convert it from a list to a string and we try to use those methods, do you think it will work?
Yes. If it is seen as a string, yes, it will surely work.
Okay.
The replace will definitely work. The strip, yes, it will work. Strip will remove it. Replace it with an empty string. So it will work if it is actually there as a string.
Okay, thank you.
So do you have any other questions? Please, I forgot to even send this.
So hello.
Yes. I can hear you.
My question is on REST API. So at the reception of the class, you said something about REST API that it's a store of data. So I really did not get that, because before now I do hear about REST API, but because I'm not familiar with the term, I don't think it's a kind of technical concept that engineers use to connect data to this thing. So, but when you open the website of REST countries, you were saying something about REST API, and so I just want to be clear on that. That is REST API just a repository of data that we can pull some general information that some people have stored. So I really want to get the concept of REST API. Then you were saying something about other APIs too. So that was my question.
Okay, so I didn't mention REST API. It's actually REST countries API. REST countries, that is their website, REST countries. So this is their own API. To get information over the web, it's an API. API is what we use, not REST API. REST API, yes, REST API is different, but the tool itself to get the information we actually want is through APIs. Did you get to send? Sorry, I want to send that. I forgot, and time is fast spent. Let me search for the attendance and send. So did you get it?
Yes, I get it. But the one you sent, you said REST country API. Is it just like some kind of general API, or I really?
Yes, it is. Hold on.
View
Let me
it in
send.
the in case of. Are you with me?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. You said in case of attendance.
Yes, I'm trying to get the. the concept of API, because in the case of maybe if we are working in the real world and we need to put API, will it be readily accessible like that? Or I really want to get the concept of API. That's just my the bottom line of my question. So that's why.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm just sending this attendance now. I totally forgot. So please just quickly write your name and I'll just attend to this question as quickly as possible. Time is past 10 already. So now talking about APIs, the one I use, REST countries. That's why when we start, you were here at the beginning now. You saw me use Google search for REST countries API. It is open. It is open, but not all APIs are like that. I chose this because it would not require any form of authentication. There are some APIs that would require that you log in, that you actually log in, you have an account in their website before you have access to their API. But this one that we use today is free. Like, just go on your system, type REST countries API. It is free. You do not need any login or any form of authentication to access information from their API.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So, do we have any other? That's all for today. No other question.
Okay. Miss Ogochukwu. Sorry, I combined your name. Yeah, I think yes. I think I sent a message to you at a time on Discord, and then you replied. So I've not gotten a response from you actually on Discord.
Okay. I remember. Situation has overtaken the event. Don't worry, I'll send you a message.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Okay, so I believe that's all we have for today. I just want to say some few things quickly, which part of the message I sent on our Discord channel. If you have lost access, please also verify if you still have access on DataCamp. Check, don't just open and check chapter 1. Make sure you can open chapter 2 or chapter 3 of some courses. If you can, then yes, you still have access. But if you do not have access again, please send me again. So that will be taken care of. That's one. Then number 2, the project that we gave out for a month. Now I intentionally left that project to be for like a month so that it won't seem like we're giving too much assignments, because I believe that at that point we're also working on our certification. So I didn't want it to be that tedious, and that's why I extended that project for 1 month. Today is the deadline. What is the time? 8 p.m. In the next, it should be 3 hours, I think, or 4 hours, or thereabouts. That form will close. And I don't know, the responses that we've gotten that I've received so far, it's not encouraging. That's one thing I want to point out. Then also, I'm supposed to give an assignment again today, but we couldn't cover what I wanted us to cover, because I didn't want us to work only on this REST countries API. I wanted us to also work on another API, and this time around we'll look at how to get records in APIs that use stage. Now, this REST countries not use stage, you can get their whole information, and that's why this one looks easy and straightforward. But there are other APIs that you need to use stages. So I wanted us to look at that situation before giving out that assignment. And now I don't know if I should still give out that assignment today, on Monday. I was supposed to send it on Monday, but okay, what I'll do is this. I'm going to still send that assignment out on Monday, but We'll work on the other API in our next session. Then the assignment will be submitted in 2 weeks' time. We're meant to submit it in 1 week, but I'll have to extend it because we couldn't cover that day. So the assignment will be submitted in 2 weeks' time. These are just the things that I want us to take note of. And if I remember any other thing, I'm going to put it in the channel. So I apologize for taking into your time this evening. I say thank you all for joining today. And if there's nothing else, I guess we'll have
There's
to
something
call
else. One request, please. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I can. Let's see.
Yes, please. Your notebook that you used this evening, can you share it with us on Discord? Because when I went through the
Okay,
materials
no
on Data
problem.
Camp, it was not quite explanatory the way you put the explode here now. That was why. So we'll need your notebook. Thank you.
Okay, I'll do that. Maybe I might not do it this. I'll just add some comments on the notebook, rename it, and I'll send it on Discord.
No problem. Thank
If you
you.
don't, no, you'll get it on Monday. Not if you don't get it. You get it on Monday, please, with the other assignment.
No
So you
issues.
get
That's
it.
fine. Thank you.
All right. So thank you all for today, and thanks for your contributions. Thank you for attempting the exercises that we did, and thanks for the cooperation this evening. So with that, I want to say good night and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very much.